Good evening, students. How are you? It's a pleasure to be with you again. Um, Today it's Thursday, and we have to continue with our practices for the writing section, right? So for today, I have planned again a very interactive class. What we're going to do today is to practice for the first task of the writing section. Okay. So again, what we're going to do is simply we're going to divide the class in several small groups. Okay. In this case, as we are just very few students, what we're going to do is to to divide the class in just one little group, and one of you is going to work with me until more students get into the class, of course. All right. So just give me a second. Wonderful. Okay. So let me first of all share my screen with you, because given that we were going to practice for the first task, we are first of all going to get into Magush, right? Because we need to listen first of all to we need to read a reading passage, and then we need to listen to a lecture on the same topic before we can write our essay. Okay, so let's get into that. Okay, we're going to get into the okay, no, this is not what I was looking for. Again, here, Magush. Okay, wonderful. So let's go practice for the first task. Practice writing here. Yeah, Carlos, you had a question?
Teacher, can you please resend that template for the essay number one? I mean, the type one.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to do it right now. Give me a second. Okay, so integrated essay, answer questions, quiz mode. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're going to practice for this one. And cans, not this. So for, I'm going to have to write down here. Okay, here. All right, this is going to be our topic. Okay, so now please let me just go to the WhatsApp group. I'm going to send the document Carlos wants. Let's take it of English. Okay, here. Right, so there you have, Carlos, the first template for the first task.
Teacher.
All right. So now let's go. Okay, so given that Laura also got into, we're going to have then two groups. Okay, so what is going to happen? We're going to practice for the first task. That is what it was saying. How are we going to do it? Simply, we're going to first of all read this passage here. I'm going to paste it in the chat box, because as you remind, this is a very large passage. And given that it's large, we need to have 3 minutes to read this. Okay, so here you have. I'm going to paste it in the chat box. Okay, I don't know. Again, I'm gonna okay, like this. I copy this, and now pause here. Oh, chat box. Okay. Okay, it's too long. It's too long. That's the reason. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna paste it in the chat box, and there's to say in the WhatsApp group. Okay, I'm sorry. So what? Because in the chat box here in Zoom, we have some sort of limit for the characters in the text that I send you. Therefore, I'm not able to share it with you here in the chat box. Okay, but I am able to do that in the WhatsApp group. So let's go and see that. And all right, so wonderful. There you have. Okay, so I'm gonna have the chronometer here, so you're gonna be able to watch it in my screen. So I'm gonna give you your 3 minutes. Okay, so begin reading, please. And now, begin reading now. Here you have. Okay, time's over. And now let's listen to the talk on the same topic, okay? Don't forget to take your notes. It's very important, okay? Especially for this particular item, okay? So let's go.
Now listen to part of a lecture on the topic you just read about.
Gone with the Wind is a hugely important movie, historically speaking. Some scholars have even suggested that it is the most seen film of all time. I love the timeless romance at the heart of the film and its feminist themes. The idea that the movie is racist is, I think that the allegation that Gone with the Wind is racist is totally overstated. It's true that Gone with the Wind depicts the Civil War from a white Southern perspective, but the movie never suggests that the South was right to go to war. In fact, the Southerners' decision is portrayed as rash and foolish. At the same time, the South before the Civil War is not totally romanticized. For example, the film takes issue with its limited opportunities for women outside of things like being wives and mothers. After the Civil War, opportunities for women, well, they actually change for the better in the film. Mammy, Scarlett's maid, is the smartest character in the movie. The character may not have a first name specified in the script, but that doesn't change the fact that she's a rich and complex character. She's unafraid to speak her mind to Scarlett, and she's fiercely protective of her loved ones, too. Hattie McDaniel, who portrayed Mammy, brought such dignity and heart to her performance that she became the first African American to win an Academy Award. She was given the prize for Best Supporting Actress, defeating a white co-star in the process, and making history. Critics sometimes point to Butterfly McQueen's performance as Prissy as an embarrassing element of the film. Now, the director may have told her to deliver a hysterical, comedic performance, but Butterfly did more than that. She actually added a rebellious, subversive element to the character of Prissy. She showed that she was discontent with being a slave and unafraid to disobey her owners. I think people like Malcolm X might have been deceived by the performer's comedic, high-pitched voice into overlooking the rebellious qualities of the character. At the end of the day, rather than decrying the film's racism, I think maybe viewers should appreciate that Gone with the Wind provided job opportunities for talented black actors who otherwise had great trouble finding work in early Hollywood. Butterfly McQueen and Hattie McDaniel brought great talent to their roles and courageously paved the way for future generations of African American actors.
Summarize the points made in the lecture you.
Okay, wonderful. So I know that Jelly just got into. Jelly, you and I are going to work in another essay. But for those of you who listened to the talk and also read the article, we're going to use the same documents that we used yesterday because they are still available. Okay, so let me resend the links. Okay, so I'm going to create the rooms right now. Give me a second. I'm going to stop this for a while. I'm going to create 2 rooms. All right. Okay, so colors and Miguel here. Okay, so Marinas and Laura, you were the ones who were part of the. You listen, right, to the audio, Marinas and Laura. You listen, right, and you read.
Yes, teacher.
Right. What about you, Laura? You also were able to read and to listen. Laura, you were able to? Not at all. Okay. So I think it's Claudia then. Claudia, you did listen, right?
No, teacher, I just log in.
Okay. All right. Well, doesn't matter. It's okay. Fine. Thank you very much. Don't worry. Okay. So I was saying that now then what we're going to do it's okay. This is what we're going to do. Okay, so Carlos and Miguel, please go to your room and begin practicing, okay? For this essay, decide between the members of your group who is going to write what part, and please write that essay, okay? I'm gonna give you 15 minutes. Just decide, and I'm going to get into into the small group, okay? It's fine, Miguel. Let's get into.
Okay, teacher.
Wonderful. So decide it with Carlos, please. Okay, now for the rest. So what we're going to do is with you students, we're gonna practice for the second. We're gonna practice for the second task of this section. Okay, how are we gonna do that? Simply, we're gonna choose a topic. Okay, I'm going to divide you right now into groups. But first of all, let me tell you what is going to be the topic. Okay. Give me a second. I'm going to tell you what is going to be the topic. Okay. So the topic for your essay is going to be the following. Okay. Look at the chat box. It's going to be. Some people prefer to live in okay, what is going to be about this? Some people. What do you prefer? Okay, so this is our topic. What do you prefer, new cars or classic cars? Defend your position, right? Just matter of stay there. Defend, okay? So this is going to be the topic for our essay, okay? For all of you who were not able to get into the small groups because you didn't listen to the items. What do you prefer, new cars or classic cars? Defend your position. Now, okay, so I'm going to divide the class again into more rooms. Okay. Okay, so Claudia, you're gonna go to this group, and also Marines. Okay, so you're gonna work together, Claudia and Marines, and the other two students are going to remain here with me. Okay, so go there, decide who's going to write the introduction, who's going to write the body, and who's going to write the conclusion. Try to make it even, and I'm going to go right now with the chronometer for you to start. Okay, just give me a second. So get into. Okay, so for you, Laura and Jolly, you're going to stay with me, and we're going to work together as well. You are going to work together actually in this essay too. Okay, so for you, Jolly and Laura, the topic is going to be, what do you prefer, new cars or classic cars? Okay, so let me right now. I'm gonna get into. I want to lend you the. Okay, here. Okay, so for us, okay, okay, give me a second. First group is going to be for the second group. Second group. Second group. And also third group. Okay, there you go. Wonderful. So now, 2006 here in 9. Good, wonderful. So, Jadi and Laura, please open the third document. I just sent the link to the short document to your WhatsApp group. Open the one that says third group because you're going to be the third group, okay? And please begin writing down your essay. Okay, so decide right now, okay? And when I come back, you're gonna have the chronometer starting for you to write down your essay, okay? Remind the question is, what do you prefer, new cars or classic cars? Defend your position, all right? So I'm gonna go to check out the other groups and I'm going to come back right now with the chronometer, okay? You give me a second.
Okay, teacher. Jadi, can we? Do you hear me?
Yes. Are we still on Mandarina group?
Excuse me.
What is the name of our group? Is this the Mandarina?
The third one.
Yes, it's Mandarina's group.
It's the link that says your group. The last link.
Okay, yeah, Mandarina group. Okay. So what are going to defend? Do you prefer new cars or classic cars? I prefer new ones. And you?
I agree about. I think my internet is so bad. I can't hear you very well, but I agree about. I agree for new cars.
Okay. Yeah, so defend that new cars and do you want to write the introduction or the body part?
I can write the introduction.
Introduction. Okay, I will write about.
All right, girls, you decided? You decided?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
All right, wonderful. So get into the link and please begin writing, okay? It says third group, you're gonna be the third group, okay? So remind that, get into that link and there you can write down your responses. right, guys? I just check how the other participants are going, and I tell you that they are doing pretty well. So we have to strive in order to win. All right. I'm just kidding. Okay, just continue. Just to have something like 6 minutes, okay, to complete your essay. So you're doing pretty well. Continue. right, wonderful. So science over students, I'm going to call your classmates so they come back as well and we can review the essays, okay? So I'm going to stop this and I'm going to close all the rooms. All right. We'll come back in a minute. Right, I think that we can win, definitely. We can win. Okay, group 1 is here already. We're going to wait for group number 2. And then we are going to see who won. All right, they're going to come back in 10 seconds. 11, 5, 4, 3. All right, here they come. All right, they are here. Wonderful. So, welcome back to the general room. And now the competition has ended, and we're going to see who wrote the best essay, okay? If group number 1, if group number 2, or Mandarina's group, which is something like the third group, okay? Stop writing, by the way. Stop writing. All right, wonderful. Okay, so let's go with the first group. All right, so the first group, as far as I can remember, were in charge of writing down about the first task, right? About this lecture and article on this very famous movie, right? That is what you had to write about. Okay, so let's go. Just introduction. Reading extract leads off with a film produced by David. Okay, so remind that if you see any error, you have to tell me because we're trying to improve, right? So it says the reading extract leads off with a film produced by David O. Selznick, Gone with the Wind. Very good. Based on Margaret Mitchell's Pulitzer Prize-winning novel, a very overwhelming story about the American Civil War. I like this word, by the way. Good, overwhelming. Stating that the first time the film was one of the most seen films of all times, but suddenly it became rusty by the racist critics. By the racist critiques that the film have had by the new generation. Okay, fine. Nonetheless, in the lecture, the expositor is mentioning that actually the film reflects a great instance of opportunity to new black actors paying their way to Hollywood. All right, playing, I guess, right? Playing their way to Hollywood. Firstly, in the reading passage, it is claimed that the film tells the story of Scarlett O'Hara, a slave owner, defending her insight of maintaining the golden times by degrading African Americans taking part in the war as a Southern family with the Confederacy group. Notwithstanding, in the listening presentation, it is noted that the film exposed is not outstated. Very good. I like this word, by the way. As a result, the Southern family was not romanticized, yet the film represents the real meaning of the golden times. All right, very good. Secondly, in the reading selection, it is stated that it wasn't even thought about giving a name to Scarlett's maid. Good. In addition, violence due to racism is shown on the film without any censorship or any other education. Butterfield McQueen, a house servant, is enslaved by Scarlett. According to the director, it was made to portray the character's position. Due to many negative stereotypes, it seems the film was highly criticized. Very good. I honestly like this. It's very well phrased. On the other hand, in the presentation, it is mentioned that the role of the butterfly was meant to be like it in order to create a complex character. Good. There was nothing but only positive feelings and values written on Butterfly's script. The director added she needed to be rebellious and brave. The main, okay, by the way, here I guess you just blundered point, right? The main point of the character was to be a person who was discontent to be a slave. Furthermore, very good, remind, right? Connectors with capital letters, commas, right? It is said that the actress encouraged many people around the world. Finally, in the excerpt, is pointed out, very good, that one on the film, there are a lot of embarrassed themes. Good, the listening passage, notwithstanding the decision of including these characters on the film was indispensable. Good work, and helped the inclusion of more African American people who were inspired by the performance of the actors who played. How many words do you have, by the way? This is like a very, very extensive essay. Let me see. It's something like, oh, I can see that. I'm just going to, we're actually for, all right. In Word, how many words do you have? Doesn't matter this. All right, 385 words. Very good, guys. Remind that for this essay, you just had to write 150 as a minimum, and a very good essay would be 250, but you wrote 300 and more. Very good. Okay, if you manage to do this on the actual exam, you're gonna crush it. Okay, very good. Let's go with the second group. All right, let's see what they did. All right, so remind that for the second group, they are defending, well, in this case, could somebody of the second group tell me, please, what is the contention you're defending in this case? Classic or new cars? Say it to the group, please.
We were defending the classical.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. So let's see how this essay argues in favor of that position. Okay, let's see if it is convincing. It says, my father used to say that classical cars are always the best option if you're going to buy a car, because of their timeless design and their powerful body structure that is often a lot more trustworthy in terms of security than the rest of the modern cars nowadays. I like, for example, how they used here their father in order to illustrate, right, some sort of authoritative figure in order to introduce the essay, because maybe they didn't have some sort of factual information, right? Remember, that is another alternative that I suggested you, that if you don't have any factual information to begin your essay with, you can include a phrase like this one. My father used to say that classical cars are always the best option. Very good, right? Your father, authoritative person, wonderful. Likewise, this type of cars could also become assets, since they can increase their value over time and even become collectible cars. Accordingly, classical cars are certainly a safe choice when choosing a car to buy. Below the motives of this argument. Very good, very good. First, it says classical cars were built with the idea that they had to last as long as their owner lived. In some cases, oh, very good, I didn't know that. Or with strong road and weather conditions in order to be preferred and stand out from the rest of the cars back then. Wow, very good. That is very convincing. Honestly, you are convincing me already. As a matter of fact, people back then did not care about how beautiful. I guess here it is. Back then did not care, right? Because you're talking in past. Yes, as a matter of fact, people back then did not care, right? Little mistake, did not care about how beautiful their car looked as much as if the car was going to still work as much as if the car was going to still, right? There's something wrong here. People back then did not care about how beautiful the car looks as much as if the car was going to continue working. That would be the word, continue working, as if the car was going to continue working, right? Iba a continuar trabajando till they could lend it to their children. Very good, okay? Just very, very little mistakes, but anyways, very good. Exemplifying, okay? They didn't manage to conclude it. Anyways, we're just practicing. Furthermore, classic cars don't lose as much value as the modern ones with the pass of time. Modern cars depreciate as soon as they are driven for the first time, but classic cars can even become more pricey. I like this word, for example. Look at this, guys. This is for you. Pricey. Good word, okay? Why? Because pricey, it's like saying expensive, but pricey, it's another way to say it, right? Very good, pricey. Since there are many people that collect them, some of them are worth more now than when they were acquired. Very good. We can say that they are an investment. Oh, very good. Okay, this is a very powerful argument. Okay, the second group made a wonderful job with coming up with arguments. Okay, to conclude, when thinking of buying a new car, buying a classic one can be a great option. Not only you'll be getting an amazing machine, but built to last with the best quality materials and with an everlasting design, but also would be a fantastic asset. Okay, in this case, I think maybe the conclusion is not adding anything new, but anyways, it works. Okay, as I told you, it's like it doesn't negatively affect. But if you were able to include a recommendation for me, for example, you could have said in this case, right, for the group, you could have used as a conclusion something like, I recommend you to buy the 85 Mercedes, right, or the 85 I don't know, Audi, right, an old car. So you were somehow recommending them to buy that particular car, and maybe you could have argued something like, in the following 10 years, this car is going to augment its value exponentially. So you're going to be gaining a lot of money and earning a fortune if you find that car and if you buy it before the time comes. Wonderful, right? That would have been a very good idea too, but very good. Finally, Mandarina's group. What about this? It says, okay. Where is that? Okay, here. Human beings has always tried to get facility the things we use the most. To get facility, human beings. Okay, here, for example, when you're talking about beings, have, yeah, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Human beings, yes. But maybe it's because you forgot the s, right? Maybe yeah, it was because of that, I guess. Human beings have always tried to get facility. Here, for example, to the things, right? To the things, a las cosas, we use the most. For instance, right, remind, for example, here, this is a connector, okay? So when you use a connector, you have to use it, remind, okay? You end the sentence, capital letter. For instance, you finalize the connector and comma, all right? For instance, that is the way you have to write down the connector. For instance, with a capital letter, prefaced by a period like this, and followed by a comma, okay? Those primordial ones are smartphones, TV, cars. Nevertheless, cars were a problem due to all the building that have had a total change between old ones. Okay, very good. Again, here, for example, likewise, remind, connectors always begin with a capital letter and followed by a comma, okay? Don't forget that. Likewise, that is the way you use it. Likewise, have changed the insight into common cars. The new era has comments, and most of the people trial radical differences, new characteristics that not only comfort the user by using a new car, but also aid environment. Okay, aid the environment here, remind this article, the environment. Those benefits are, first, let us look at what a new car can typically be useful for. A new car is not only comfortable, but also secure. All the pieces are working correctly. If you're going to move in a city, it is a good idea to buy a new car because it won't present any problems during the trip. Good. Another important reason is that a new car is excellent invention because all the facilities that the agency can offer to you, since mechanical repairs to routine checks, very good. That is why in the future, if you need to sell it, the conditions will be good enough to have a good gain. Good. Apart from the points I have made above, the new car is updated and you have all the technological resources that you will need. For example, access to your favorite music by Bluetooth. Here, very well. Air conditioning and proper ventilation. Wonderful. Finally, I cannot oversee the fact that many countries are developing new cars with actual technological characteristics at an affordable places. Wonderful. I mean, very good. Okay. So I think that you have all made a good job. Very good. Very good. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to continue practicing. Try to continue practicing by yourself too, especially for the second task, right? Because that is a super easy task to practice. The only thing you have to do is to think about any possible statements that could divide people, as for example, I don't know, whatever, right? What is the best soda flavor, Coca-Cola, Fanta, right? And you begin your essay saying, okay, Coca-Cola is the best soda because of the following reasons, and you try to argue, right? Anything like that. Okay, so any question, any commentary? Anything you may want to ask? Okay. So before you do that, please, I'm gonna take the assistance. Please help me with the daily poll, all right? You're gonna help me a lot. And now I'm gonna take your assistance, so please listen to me. You're doing a pretty good job, by the way. I like the essays. Honestly, the level it's conspicuous, admirable, definitely. All right. Let's see. Okay, here. Okay, it's here. Okay. Caballero López, Carlos. All right.
Hello, teacher, I'm here.
Yes. Marines Genesis.
Here, teacher.
Okay. Guaroto Conicilla. Carolina. Okay, Caro. Caro is not here. Yandira. Lisette. Marcilla.
Present.
Thank you, Jadi. And Bonnie. Bonnie Daira. Okay. Finally, what about Claudia Guzman? Patricia?
Present.
Thank you very much. What about Laura Leticia Mamani? Choque?
Present, teacher.
Thank you very much. Chayapa Álvaro? Okay. Gutierrez Jessica? M. Silva Plata Miguel Ángel.
Present, teacher.
All right, wonderful. So tomorrow, guys, okay, thank you very much for the responses. Tomorrow, what is going to happen tomorrow? Tomorrow, we're going to practice, and I'm also going to give you homework, okay? That is to say, I'm going to give you a document, and within that document, you're going to find exercises in order for you to write 2 essays. You're going to have time to send me those essays to the email that I have stated there in that document that you're going to receive tomorrow until this, I think it's until this Sunday's night. And after you send me that, oh, well, it's going to be, it are going to be 2 essays, okay? They are going to be 2 essays. After you send me those essays, I'm going to return those essays to you, but review and correct, okay? So we're gonna be having that specific and special homework tomorrow, so be prepared for that. But thank you very much for being here, okay? So see you tomorrow. All right, thank you, teacher, bye.
Okay, bye. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, teacher. Thanks.